The College of the Ozarks, one of a handful of work colleges in the United States in which all students are required to work. It's also one of 2 colleges where students pay no tuition, 0, not 6,000, not 10, not 50. They don't have to pay tuition. They have to work. The other college like that is Berea College in Kentucky. We have 1,500 students in the college program, but we have 300 in a K through 12 lab school, classical lab school. And so what we have is a unique system where kids from kindergarten all the way through 4 years of college have the work ethic integrated into their program and their curriculum. We adhere to a 90% rule. You cannot even get in the College of the Ozarks unless you fall within the 90% who show need. They must show need, and in spite of that, the school is very selective. I think the Chronicle last year listed us as in the top 10 most selective colleges in the United States. That's unusual, especially for low-income kids. What we have are a lot of good students who are low income and oftentimes carry a lot of baggage. If you've read the book Hillbilly Elegy by J.D. Vance, his life would not be totally different from many of the kids that we deal with every day. And having run work colleges for 40 years, I can tell you that everything cannot be solved with a computer. Sometimes it takes a personal touch and something very different to help those that are going to fall in the cracks of society. The work colleges tend to borrow less money. Students who go to these work colleges, you can see in the middle 44%, much lower than public, private, nonprofit, private for profit, so forth. That's a significant thing. If you break that down into its component parts, you will see that it's not a monolithic bunch. I mean, even some of the work colleges are writing lots of federal loans. But you'll see one in the middle, College of the Ozarks, that's sitting at 0. And the reason it's 0 is because we wanted it to be 0. We chose to spend our money on avoiding debt for these kids as opposed to doing something dumb like starting a football program. So we did that, and we dropped the federal loan program, and then a few years later we saw some borrowing going on we didn't like, so we refused to certify private loans. So here's a college that if you want to borrow money, you picked the wrong place. We just tell people, look, you can go up the road, I can name you half a dozen colleges, be glad to loan your money. We're not one of them. In Missouri, last week, even the legislature is discussing a new work-study program, more to fund internships and so forth. So we think that this model is worth considering. There's a college in Dallas, Texas, historically black college that's converting itself to an urban work college, which we think is a good idea.
The student loan program has become a way to avoid reality. So students actually take longer today to go through school, they take fewer courses, and then they're shocked to discover that all the money they borrowed for all those years is actually going to come due. I mean, the system was almost designed to trap people. So first of all, I encourage students to borrow as little as possible, and where possible to work your way through school and to go through school as quickly as you can.